Testing, testing, 1, 2. Alright, let's do this thing. So, I don't really have a name for it yet. It's kind of one of those things where you don't really have to name it at first, I felt like, so we'll just see where it goes. And I had a couple ideas bouncing around and whatnot, but it'll come with time. Don't worry. It's not like naming your kid or anything, where you have to name it at the beginning. What do you mean you don't have a name for your baby? So, I really wanted to kind of get right into it. So, let's begin with Colin Kaepernick's situation. And I just wanted to revisit this once more because I read an interesting article kind of on NFL.com, and it said that Colin Kaepernick has technically the third highest jersey sales as of Sunday or whatever it was. Maybe, yeah, Sunday I read it. So then I thought to myself, why is this? Like, he hasn't played a snap this season. He was horrible in the preseason. We know what he is about. So there's got to be something. There's got to be the political relationship that this is all going through, right? That's the conclusion that I came to. There's no way that people are jumping on his bandwagon for him to do well. I think people just want to say, hey, look, he is doing something, or it is progressing. But like I said before, I don't think, like, when I took a step back, I realized that we should protect the rights to protest, and we should kind of celebrate him for doing this, but I just didn't think it was going to gain any traction or gain any political masses that would back him up on this. And I know where Colin Kaepernick's coming from and exercises on his right for protesting and whatnot, and it is arguably the best right that we have as Americans. If you think about going through the history of America, well, technically before America was founded, but the Boston Tea Party in 1773, I think, maybe was the start of 74. I don't really know, but so that basically began the separation of the United from Great Britain to U.S. And even further down the road with Martin Luther King and the Black rights, Rosa Parks sitting at the front of the bus. I found an interesting little factoid about that, but that not a lot of people know. Maybe I'll get to it later, but it's quite interesting. It's kind of funny, but it's still a very big sit-down protest. No coincidence really intended. And even going back to the Seneca Falls Convention of, the 19th Amendment that allowed women to vote, that was a big deal. Vietnam was greatly under the protest of not only the youth in America, but it gained traction with the elder community, and that's what ultimately pulled us out of Vietnam. So the fact of the matter is, even if it's against your own flag, the right to protest is extremely important. If you really believe in something that hardcore, I say go for it. So we'll just see where this all goes. But right there is kind of where I take the road less traveled when it splits into that infamous Y. Call it the right or left. I don't really care what road. But usually it's the left road, metaphorically. But I don't think the Eric Reed and Jeremy Lane, with them combining and backing up Colin, is not really going to make it more relevant. And these jersey sales, like I said, I don't think that's going to make it more relevant. However, Obama did talk about it, but he kind of underplayed it, which was he said all the right things, just as usual. And I just don't think that what all of them are doing right now are just they're not stating their ends that justify their means, and that tends to lose traction quickly. Although it's an uproar right now, I think it'll die down, but we'll see how he concludes this whole charade. Let's talk about the topic at hand here with the section I like to call Hawk Talk. Let's do it. So preseason's over and we finally get to the games that count. And the 53-man roster was released a couple days ago. And there was a little surprise that I seen, and it was that we only went with realistically 8 linemen. But we can get away with it because Cassius Marsh is going to be one of those Bruce Irvin kind of roamer types. He can play the Sam linebacker as well as a DE. So I'm pretty interested to see how they incorporate him this year. He's looked like a stud. He'll feel it nicely. That speed rush. So we got size in the middle too, which is we were lacking last year. So, but we'll be fine. D-line and O-line are much improved, I should say. We all seen the little 26 Tremaine Pope. Who is this guy? And he didn't make the roster, although he had a monster preseason. And I just seen the other day that he didn't last long on the market, as we all would have thought. And I seen that he got picked up by the Jets, so best of luck to him. Maybe that gives me a reason to watch some Jet football. Who knows? So best to Tremaine Pope. And we did keep 4 halfbacks, 4 running backs, and cut Tuiakafu. Long hair. I just can't pronounce his name worth the life of me. So we cut him, and technically we don't have a fullback. So my theory on that is that Pete and that whole offensive, Darrell Bevel, that whole offensive staff, I think that they are going to use one of our tight ends to play fullback. Or maybe just go some empty sets and 4 wides, 2 tight end sets, 3 wide. So it's going to be interesting. I think this whole offense is going to look totally different. We did cut to Akafu. I'm thinking that could lead us to using Nick Vanette as a fullback, or I don't know. I'd like to say Jimmy Graham, but we all know what he's dealing with. That bad patella, that whole knee. He's not a very good blocker in general. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. And we got Kristen Michael coming out of the backfield and Thomas Rawls, who like to follow their fullbacks. And it's kind of a big deal. One of those offensive positions that are extremely overlooked. As for wide receivers, there was no real surprise for me. We did keep Tanner McAvoy. I think his name's Tanner. Sorry if I'm wrong. But he's a stud. 6'6". It's really no surprise that we kept him. Because if it was up to me, him or Kason Williams, Kason didn't really have a very good preseason. Kenny Lawler, he just never seemed to fit. He made some good grabs, but just like his body wasn't there. It was very awkward to watch. So I think they did the right choice by cutting them 2 and then going with their eggs in the basket of Tanner McAvoy, which is definitely going to that new look of the offense that I was kind of pointing towards. It's going to be fun to watch. No real big surprises with the 53-man roster. I think everybody was pulling for Brandon Browner, but the last 2 seasons, New Orleans, he just really looked out of sorts there. His body was degrading. His mental awareness was shot. So I'll be interested to see if he gets picked up again, but I don't know. maybe throughout the season, if one of our guys gets hurt, we might revisit it. But I'm not at a total loss without him. So our game this upcoming Sunday against Miami, finally gonna get to see some regular season football. I'll tell you one thing, it's good finally that Miami's coming up here. Finally they're making that cross-country road trip, or flight. It always seemed that whenever we played Miami, we had to go down there, and we're just completely doomed from the start. I seen. Even coming out, we looked sluggish. We weren't used to the elements. The high heat and high humidity, it was just working against us. Every natural grass they have down there. Maybe they changed that with the new stadium, but yeah, when we played, it was definitely natural grass, and all the odds were against us. I see us coming out as a very confident bunch. I'm a little confused though about the game plan, because we didn't really see a solid game plan, or at least I didn't, of kind of a technique or scheme that we were going for with our first teamers in preseason. What I did like was they just gave Russell a chance to take the top off the defense and take some shots early, but I think that was just kind of some backyard BS. Just go out, here's the play, see if it works. Kind of, there's no real backbone to it. Some did work, and some made a drive staller. There was no real fluidity with it. However, it was really nice to see Kristen Michael become what I thought we would see the first 3 years after we drafted him. When he was at Texas A&M, he was that one cut back, real fast in and out of his cuts. Had a little more ball carrier vision than he does now, but I think he compensated with that with his fumble problem, and you see him kind of one cut dash north and south, covering the ball with two hands. So, but he looked phenomenal in the preseason, and with him and Thomas Rawls coming back, it's gonna be a good show. I think we'll be fine there. But with that being said, I don't expect Thomas Rawls to have a whole lot of carries at first. I think we'll ease him into it, and definitely split time with Kristen Michael. I'm not sure if CJ Procise will even be active, but he didn't look bad. I mean, he's still a rookie. He's still got power though. So expect Thomas Rawls to kind of get eased into it, and maybe there was a hidden message kind of in our preseason scheme, like just letting Russell huck it, and he's got a definitely better O-line, but with that new O-line, I think we'll do some more quick passes and three-step drop passes, so just to settle that big O-line down. They're young, they got new position changes. Once they get settled down, and whoever, Daryl Bevel, Pete, whoever's calling plays, at that point, they'll see that they settle down and maybe start to pound the rock and do that good old ground and pound that we know. And Paul Richardson, Tyler Lockett, with them kind of developing and looking healthy, I can't help to think that maybe what we seen in preseason was something to continue. I still feel like Daryl Bevel's on the hot seat with his job, so I think he's going to try to really incorporate a new offense to kind of save his job. And this is not saying it's not a calculated risk at all, because we have maybe one of the best rosters within the last 5 years, talent-wise. Now it's just seeing if we can all come together and win these games that are going to be close, because there are going to be some close ones, although I think we're favored by 10.5 points or something like that this Sunday, but might be a trap game, honestly. Miami, they have a revamped defense that not a lot of people have seen, more stout as people thought. And Ryan Tannehill's always got something weird going on. He's hot one week, he sucks the next. And he just got that big contract, so he needs to play his ass off. Don't expect a cakewalk is what all I'm saying. Miami's going to play tough. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we do win 10.5. I won't complain. Nice opener at the Clink. Hell yeah. Yeah, so that's basically it. I kind of wanted to keep it short. Just really give my takes on the Colin Kaepernick situation and that protest. Kind of visit the status of the team and my predictions for the year, as well as this upcoming Sunday versus Miami. So hopefully you guys liked it. Thanks for tuning in and watching and listening. I appreciate it. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Smiling Professional, and Snapchat, Kohl38, for more updates. I'll probably clue you in on my next episodes and whatnot. So, yeah, I think it was a fine first podcast. Let me know what I can improve on and what you liked, what you didn't like, and give me more information. I appreciate you guys coming in and listening. I'll talk to you later. Bye!